And we are live.
Hey,
Hold on, man. First, I want to apologize, everybody. I've got like a bunch of podcasts I got to put up. Um, I said I've been writing the book, and that's like taking all my time, and because I'm enjoying it a lot. And shit's just like I'm just cranking it out.
when are you supposed to have that done by?
Well, there's like 16 chapters. They all vary in length. They're saying July, but I may be done with writing it by the end of February.
Nice.
Well, because I'm like, I've done 6 and then they've approved 1 chapter. They haven't gotten back to me because I'm supposed to be assigned with a team. I'll follow up with them like on Friday. Like they did the onboarding process, and I think they do the first chapter to make sure that I'm not complete knucklehead and I can get stuff done, I guess.
Yeah.
So it went like this. It was the process was like, okay, they contacted me. We talked, email exchange, all on email, asked for an outline. They gave me a bunch of samples, so I provided one. And then they said, okay, this is good. Okay, they pitch it. They come back and they're like, okay, let's do a table of, contents, table of contents. So I do that. We go back and forth a couple times. They reword it, reorganize it, ask questions, and that's fine. And then, I pick a chapter somewhere in the middle. You do like the intro last, and then do the first chapter with someone who's an editor who's onboarding me, and then she's like, okay, this is good. And I think they assess the whole time whether I'm going to be able to do it or not.
Yeah.
Because you never know until you know. So then they're like, fine. We'll get you. Now we're at the next step. So I've written chapter 7, 8, 9, and I'm finishing up 10 right now.
Beautiful.
So I'll be 6 through 10. The next 2, ground fighting and mugs and holds is next. So that's almost already written anyway. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm like more than halfway through the book. And then there's some sections that are like, the 10 commandments of self-defense and stuff like that. So it's like, that shit, will crank out easy. So I'm planning on next week getting to, 12, being so 6 through 12 will be done. Yeah. And then just keep moving through them. So what'll happen is once everything's written and out, then we'll figure out what pictures we want to put in there or what art and illustration. Then they'll give me a list for that. We'll do that. And then they'll arrange it, put it together, and we'll proof it and do all that shit. But what's nice is, again, they've got people that make sure that, oh, this doesn't make sense. This should be in the wrong, this is in the wrong order and things like that.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm doing everything. So I'm talking about firearms, talking about edge weapons, impact weapons. It's like legit, what we do. It's not,
exactly.
Yeah, it's not watered down. One of the things that, I want to talk about, and we should just make sure we implement in our, in what we're doing, which is kind of what we do, but to make it actually simpler, it's like once somebody understands core techniques and the principles of putting a combination together, lead with speed, follow with power, convulsive drop stepping, forward drive, obviously starting from the interview stance, position of advantage, in the, position of advantage, close range, extreme close range, grappling, once they understand that, and once they get down their core techniques, their combinations and things, they should obviously, after we give them a couple, they should just practice them, whatever feels good to you.
Exactly.
On your own. You don't need us to be like, oh, you need to do these set types of combinations because, everybody's different.
That's right.
So you've got, have that. Okay, we know these work. We know these work because they provide They can do convulsively, instinctively. They provide a certain amount of cover when you're attacking. They will cause more injury to your target and less injury to you. And then when we're adding the weapons, and this is what everybody knows who's into this stuff. It's like, okay, now just put the weapon in your rear hand.
Yeah.
Right. And now you're clearing a path for the weapon and stuff like that. So, when I get into, I'm on the firearms section right now. I mean, look, obviously people can write books and volumes on firearms. Our focus is mainly, on concealing, carrying, weapon retention, drawing, safety, having, throughout the book, we talk about just having layers of protection. Like your empty hand is like the last resort, but then you give yourself the pepper spray option, personal arm, edge weapons, firearms, body armor. Like, if you just, the problem is like, if you just carry a firearm, and you don't carry like pepper spray with you, you're only leaving yourself like really kind of one option.
Exactly.
Because now as soon as you enter into any empty hand, it becomes a weapon retention situation, right? So your gun is at play, and now it just automatically just ups the ante for everything else. I mean, this is why you shouldn't, enter into, and I don't think anybody on here does this. They don't enter into conflict very easily. I mean, you're looking to avoid, you're looking at, so I mean, if you're maintaining the posture that, look, I don't want a problem, I'm not looking for a problem, chances are you'll be able to diffuse most every situation. We're talking about you're trying to escape or someone else is in danger and you're going to intervene. It's like you have no choice.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I mean, you could fucking write page after page after page with this book. You're limited to the size of it, the number of pages, the number of chapters. Are you throwing drills, any kind of drills at all into this book?
100%.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, at the end of certain sections, it's like how to practice, right? So,
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to do this, 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 and this. And, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what we do. So, obviously, everything that's on here is, we have videos on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, if I need to see that, I'm like, go to myselfdefensetraining.com. I'm like, fucking here, just everything is here. So, yeah. And it's, if they look again at the end of the day, look, you need something to hit, right? If you got a training partner, okay, but you still should have a dummy or a heavy bag. You're gonna, practice and get till things get comfortable and at least doing something. Like I talk about one of the studies in there where, just saying something stops over half the fucking assault.
Yeah.
And the people, and I think, like we do like martial arts myths. I do like martial arts myth busted in there, like, how easy it is to break a knee, driving the nose into the brain, crap like that. And, so we're having some, we're having some
fucking eye out.
Right. How easy that is. It's just like, oh, flick the eye.
That's right.
So
fucking Kill Bill somebody's ass.
Right.
What was that, fucking Pompeii or whatever the fuck it was?
Yeah, man, that was fucking awesome.
So now when this comes out, is this coming out in both hard copy and ebook, or?
It's yes.
Okay.
So we'll probably wind up selling it on the Amazon link when it's up. And we'll start maybe, hopefully I could, get some appearances out of the shit, promote it. At least it's an excuse for people to be like, hey, have this knucklehead on. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. So,
speaking of fucking knuckleheads,
did
you watch any of that Power Slap shit?
No. I mean, I'm upset that I have to. Can you share your screen? You should be able to.
Do
Do you have any of the video up there?
No, I don't. I don't even see an option for. Oh, it says I can share
Present
screen,
now.
but I don't have it. Let me see if I can find the video first of all,
Okay. Yeah, because I want to.
because they
Yeah,
might have
dude,
taken that shit down. But
that's bullshit. Bullshit.
yeah, this video is unavailable. Of course.
Oh, come on. It's got to be search. It's got to be someplace.
Oh, there'll be like 60,000 fucking videos if I just go onto YouTube. Let me go onto YouTube.
Yeah, do that.
Power slap. Here we go. Let's see this. Yeah, so this will look good. Let's see if I can share the screen on this one.
It just says like share tab or something.
All right.
So my son's basketball team finally is getting back on track. They had like a 4-game kind of slide. It's really basketball's like such a weird sport in that if you're like shots off or your game's off, it's awful. There you go. So, oh,
Can you
geez. Yeah.
see this? Let's just.
Oh, boy. Yeah, dude. Guys, if you're hitting with the palm of your hand on the mustache line, you're not going to do that. Look at that dude's. Jesus Christ.
All right, here we go.
Is that just swollen?
There you go. Let me close that there.
Dudes are crazy.
Yeah, can you here we go. So I don't know if you've actually, well, you just said you didn't watch it, but I was watching some of it, and I mean, holy fuck. Like these guys are like knocking it, and I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, I get MMA from a competitive, athletic, sports entertainment fucking standpoint. Then we get into fucking bare knuckle boxing, right? And I'm still okay. I still get it. You know, people are probably going to get, rocked pretty fucking good, but sure.
Right.
Power slap though, I just my brain can't figure out. First of all, how the fuck you train for it, and then second of all, what like you're just trying not to get fucking knocked out like that. That's all it is. Being the last person standing. Like, how long do you think this shit's gonna last?
Oh, as long as people watch it.
Apparently, the ratings were pretty fucking shit though.
Yeah, I mean, I see beyond. I don't. It's got to have. You got to have the struggle. You got to have the underdog story. You know what I mean? So I haven't watched it yet. So I mean, there has to be compelling. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. Watching these people get fucking slapped is like awesome, right? I'm just like, fuck. I'm glad it's not me.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, just sitting there letting somebody hit you in the face like that. And these are some strong, tough dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody willing to do it's out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
You're out of
but
your
like
mind.
you got to figure out what kind of, and this is what we don't know, what kind of long-term fucking damage can be caused from
without a doubt. Without it, I mean, you are rattling that brain.
Yeah.
Right. There is CTE happening every shot. And the problem, the scarier thing is it's like, what possible are these guys making any money?
I imagine they've got to be making something, right? Like
something. Something.
They're making something.
I'm like, dudes fighting in MMA, if they're doing like a local circuit and shit, maybe they're making $500,000. I mean, $500, $500.
I don't know. Would you stand there and let some big dude slap you for fucking $500?
Yeah, dude. That's if you win. Right?
Holy shit.
I'm like, I look, there's like two parts of, there's two parts. One is like, yeah, if you want to do it, have at it. God bless you. The other is like, people don't take care of themselves and they're willing to do anything and sacrifice whatever to, get a little recognition and a little fame. So, there has to be some level of, making them wear their seatbelts.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing. I mean, like, within the MMA world, within bare knuckle boxing, there's always safety measures implemented to some degree to keep the athletes safe.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do this with power slap?
Well, the exact thing is what you want to avoid. I mean, the interesting thing, Bas Rutten was talking about bare knuckle boxing on Rogan, and it was interesting because it brings up a good point. He goes, there's less headshots with, because they don't, or you can't, I'd not say less headshots, you can't, you have to regulate how much force you put behind your punch.
Yeah.
Because you break your knuckle. Obviously
Yeah.
you got to condition your hands, you got to, increase the infrastructure around them, and there's like techniques, obviously we do them, and just even just training alone in bare knuckle boxing, hitting the bag
Exactly.
barehanded will do that. But yeah, you still got to be careful if you're catching a skull, if you're catching an elbow, you're gonna break your hand and you're done. I mean, anyone who remembers goes back and watch the first few UFCs. How many people broke their hand? A lot of them. What was Horace Gracie doing? Hitting with the heel of his hand.
Yeah.
Right? Just because he knows, he's like, dude, I'm just gonna choke this fucking guy out. He goes, but I'm just gonna annoy him with these things right here. So, watching these dudes like, people slapping themselves. I mean, it's like, again, it's compelling. The problem is, I don't think anyone's watching. I didn't even know it was on. I don't know when
No.
it's on. I don't know, anything about how to watch this shit live. And I haven't thought of it. So I don't think they're putting a lot of marketing behind it.
Yeah, I guess after, fucking Dana White was caught slapping his old lady, it just probably didn't help, right?
Did he slap her? I don't think, I don't know.
Maybe it was a love tap. I don't know. Either way, it was fucking,
He just seems like a guy who has got more control than that. Right.
Yeah.
And I think,
You would think it.
again, it just does. It seems like he's too, even if he was, in the worst mind ever, I don't know. It just seems like he's too, he'd be able to kind of reel it in a bit. So, yeah, I don't know what the complete story is there. Other than
But
that,
from a self defense standpoint, right? When we teach people, that heel of hand strike,
yeah,
we talk about how damaging that can be, and I think people don't realize just that fucking slap, just how devastating it really can be till they start
right.
watching shit like this. They realize, oh
Now,
fuck.
I'm guessing that these guys have to keep their feet still.
I don't know what the rules are for it, but I imagine they probably do. Because imagine if they were fucking drop stepping into that shit.
Yeah, if you're opening it up and getting all your hip into it and your body into it,
Yeah.
that's a problem. So I'm thinking they have to keep their feet still
Mm-hmm.
and torque their bodies, which is still a lot of power, but you're taking a lot of body weight out of it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, almost all your body weight's coming out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would imagine that they, that they can't. I mean, that would be one safety precaution, but still, you're still getting rattled, and you don't know. When I tell guys, you don't know how many shots you got to take. Yours could be 50, mine could be 25, and other guys could be 100.
Yeah.
Right. So, you can only take so many shots until, you're fucking starting to, your brain's starting to short circuit and it starts to like shut down and kind of protect itself. It's like, that's why you got to be very, very, very careful, especially like playing sports like football, wrestling, judo, like stuff where you're getting bounced around and your head's hitting stuff. I'm like, yeah, man. You just said you gotta, you got only so many until, you're fucking done.
Yeah. So I mean, if we've got anybody watching this who actually has done this, reach out to me because I want to.
Yeah, I want to talk to you.
We want to talk to you and find out like
100%.
how you train for this shit. Like, I mean, how do you train? How do you fucking train? Like, we spend our time hitting shit. Do they spend their time just getting hit? Like, what the fuck do you do?
Gotta be, right? You gotta be, right? So I mean, you have to keep yourself in some baseline of physical conditioning, right? You have to, you have to, be able to take some of that punishment. So again, like all your neck structure, jaw structure, things like that have got to be strengthened up to be able to absorb the shock. You have to be training to get hit, and just understanding how to, process that pain. But you can't do that too often either, because you don't want to waste your rounds
Yeah.
on that.
I mean, that's your whole fucking job, is like being a crash test dummy, just getting fucking hit over and
How
over.
much, I mean, how critical is it that you go first in this thing?
Yeah.
Right? Like that fucking coin toss, whatever the fuck they do to decide it. I'm like, that's the one. That's like, yeah, dude. Oh, shit.
Because we talk like from a self-defense standpoint, the person who hits first generally wins.
Yes, that's another question I have. How many first shot knockouts are there? How many, George?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look this up after. Next week, I'm gonna have like every fucking stat from Power Slap.
Yes. And I'm gonna start. Yeah, yes.
Could you imagine if fucking what is it, Upper Deck or Tops that release fucking baseball cards and shit? If they start releasing fucking cards of these guys with their faces all fucked up and
right-handed, knockout percentage, how many times been knocked out, yeah. Holy shit, dude.
I mean, I remember watching on fucking YouTube, and it would come up on like Facebook and TikTok, was like the Russians and the chicks would be slapping each other in the ass, and I thought, this is fucking great. Like, I could watch this shit all day long. And now all of a sudden, it moves into like right across the fucking face, and then now it's
yeah,
to this level.
No.
Like what's next?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. My pimp hand is strong.
Right. I mean, well, there's definitely a nut kicking contest.
It's coming.
Totally. Holy crap, man. Yeah.
But I mean, you think about they must have areas too where they can't strike. I mean, could you blow out a fucker's eardrum? Like you could do a lot of serious fucking damage if you miss your target.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's one thing to knock a guy out and maybe break his jaw. That dude with his fucking jaw out like that thing is broken.
Yeah.
It's broken, and he's still sitting up there to get hit. Who's paying for his medical? Right?
Holy fuck.
I'm like, yeah, dude. People, you get fucking people who do most anything. Most anything.
So yeah, again, if you're out there and you do this, please fucking reach out to us.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
We'll turn you into a star. We'll help you get into the Power Slap fucking league.
Right, exactly. We'll fucking promote you.
That's right.
Holy shit.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, I mean, there's been a lot also going on with some more active shooter events. To completely, it's a 180. But we've got two different ones. Both interest, obviously they're just like two opposite ends of the spectrum. We got the 67-year-old man out in California for the Chinese New Year. Killed 7 dead. California has 3 mass killings in 8 days.
Jesus Christ.
So here you have, again, whatever you're doing for gun control isn't working. Right. And I hate to, I don't want to really bring this up, but it's like they lead the country in mass shootings. So more times than not, I'm saying like the FBI actually underreported this. 4 times, like armed civilians have stopped mass shootings 4 times more than law enforcement, which makes sense because, citizens are there, cops are responding. Unless the cop is like right there responding right away, it's going to be minutes and the event will be over. So this person, if you will, killed 7 people at two businesses in Northern California. They arrested him, and officers arrested a suspect in Monday shooting. 67-year-old, not going to say his name. Excuse me. After they found him in his car in a parking lot of a sheriff's substation. So I guess he would turn himself in.
He's like, I fucked up.
Oh, God. 7 people were found dead and an 8th injured at a farm and another location several miles away. Officers believe he worked at one of the facilities. And that's the other thing. You know, I know we focus on schools and things like that, and we should, but the majority of the mass shootings happen at work.
Yes.
So that's one of your fucking employees showing up and just, you know, letting evil go. So,
and the worst part is you probably never even fucking seen it coming.
You know, or you're not paying attention to it, right? And you know, we're not really. It's like, you know, how can you tell, right? It's like, okay, so somebody's off, somebody's not. I mean, one of the first modern active shootings happened in the town that I grew up in, the Ridgewood Post Office. And that was in the late 80s, when that's where the term going postal, you know, came in. So guy came in, shot up the place, had a, you know, katana, and was like trying to kill people with that. Fucking crazy. So the New Year's brought 6 mass killings in the U.S. in fewer than 3 weeks. And now here's the fucked up part. You know, like mass shootings are seasonal. They actually happen more in the warm weather from May to September.
Really?
Yeah, like they almost increased by like double. And that's like the same can also be said for crime, I think, because once you're out and you're interacting, there's more crowds, there's more ability to access, you know, to get to larger groups of people. So yeah, the mass killings in the U.S. fewer than accounting for 39 deaths. 3 have occurred in California since January 16. That tracks every mass killing. All right. The killings occurred on the outskirts of Half Moon Bay, about 30 miles outside of San Francisco. Sheriff's received reports of a shooting in the afternoon and found 4 people dead and the 5th wounded at the scene. Officers then found 3 more people fatally shot nearby. About 2 hours later, sheriff found the subject parked outside a sheriff's substation in a strip mall and arrested him. Video of the arrest showed the car officers approached the car, drawing weapons. He got out of the car, pulled him to the ground, put him in handcuffs. Yeah, still trying to find out exactly why it happened. I mean, we try to figure out why it happens in order to prevent it, right? But then the one thing that's not happening is that, you know, you're not helping citizens equip themselves to protect against this. Yeah, okay, yes, right. You can get body armor for sure, but then that's only that's like half of the problem or half of the solution. Yeah, the other half is, you know, defending yourself. And you know, I'm like, you know, people talk about like run, fight. I'm more of the fight, run, hide kind of thing. So the quicker you can take care of the threat, the less
the better for everybody. Yeah.
Right. So look, I say this and I fully understand, you know, the gravity and how difficult it is for somebody to do this, right? So it takes a special kind of person to step up and do it, but they're out there. So, you know, why not empower them? I mean, a lot of people don't want to think about it. They don't want, you know, the majority of people won't do anything about it. They can't. They lack the fucking capacity to it, and that's fine. But the problem is they get upset when somebody else says, I can do it, or somebody else does it. They'll say that they're stupid. They'll say that that was reckless, and they'll say things that justifies their inability to act.
Yep.
And that's the problem. Like, let the police do it. Let the police aren't there. They're not supposed to be there. They're not going to be there. Right? It's you and you alone that have the ability to survive. And you give your best chance. It's your best chance. You are your best chance. So, you're seeing, more and more people, especially more and more people in law enforcement, are being like, yeah, citizens stepped up. That was great. Back, 20, 30 years ago, they'd be like, no, 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 don't do it. Let the police do it and all this other shit. And as we've seen, Uvalde, Snowman, Douglas, the people who were put in charge to protect us don't.
Right.
Right. So, and add to that, with what's going on and certain attitudes towards law enforcement, it gets, it makes that job, harder and harder. And it makes those people more reluctant to do, something about it.
Yep.
Now, on the other edge of the spectrum, so we have a 67-year-old, and this to me is, I can't wrap my head around it. 6-year-old.
Yes.
Shot his first grade teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, how did the kid get the weapon? You have a 6-year-old in your house, right? So, I mean, I have an 18-year-old in my 17-year-old in my house and a 20-year-old. I mean, if it's not on me, it's locked up.
Yeah.
Right. So I just don't understand how that, if your weapon is out, like you carry every day, and you're going out the door and the weapon is not there, why aren't you? Oh, maybe my husband took it. Maybe I don't know. Right. But still, holy crap. You got to put it in a place where a 6-year-old can't get it.
Yeah.
So apparently his kid, took the weapon to school, shot his teacher. Now, a spokesperson for they something to say.
Yeah, there was some kind of warning signs or something. They were talking about this kid exhibiting certain behaviors or saying certain things beforehand that weren't taken seriously.
But it's a 6-year-old. You know what I mean?
But what 6-year-old talks about like burning his fucking teacher, right? I think there's something about burning his teacher.
Yeah, I mean, you should probably, talk to a counselor, get the parents involved, right? I mean, I don't know, was anything done like that?
Apparently not. Apparently it wasn't taken seriously.
Yeah. So apparently there was they issued a statement, which is just, our family's always been committed to responsible gun ownership and keeping firearms out of reach of children. Really?
Yeah. How's that fucking working out for you?
Right. So, and this is the problem. Days after the shooting, the gun was legally purchased by the child's mother. Vanilla details how the student ended up with the gun at the school. Attorney's office, the mother faced charges. Good.
What's that there at this time? No one is facing charges?
Yeah, according to the family, the student is currently under hospital care receiving the treatment he needs. In the letter, the family stated that the 6-year-old suffers from acute disability and was under a care plan at the school that included his mother and father attending school with him and accompanying the class every day. Oh my God. On the week of the shooting, the family stated that it was the first week when they were not with the child. So I spoke with Keith Howard, a lawyer who specializes in school district. Parents are not the expert when it comes to child behaviors. Oh boy. And if he has significant behaviors, you should have one-on-one aid escorting him to school. You have kids with complex disabilities. Every child with a disability is not the same. We try to take a cookie cutter approach, and it doesn't work. Case been closed for 2 weeks following the shooting. Okay, thoughts and prayers.
Who the fuck goes into a school, as a teacher, thinking that this could ever
as
fucking
a
happen
teacher
to
of
them?
like first graders or kindergartners?
Yeah.
you know, you don't, you don't. You're always expecting an outside threat, right? So, and then the kid. I mean, goddamn, a 6-year-old kid. I'm thinking about my kids at 6.
Yeah.
And I've also seen other kids at 6. So we were at a dinner party, and one of the children, who's probably about 8 or 9 at the time, threatened to burn down my neighbor's house.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was. So all the kids were downstairs, and there's kids older and younger, and he's swinging one of those hippity hops.
Yeah.
And like all the kids are like, my son's like, my daughter's like, a couple years. She's like a year older, 2 years older than him. And he's a big kid. My son's like, a year younger than him. He's not nearly as big, and he's swinging the fucking hippity hop around. So my neighbor goes downstairs, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, you don't, he's like, I'm gonna burn down your house." And it was like, "Holy shit!"
We're here laughing about it, and it's not like he didn't ever actually do anything like fucked up, did he? Like,
I mean, there were a couple close calls with stuff, but then it was like, honestly, we stopped like, going to certain functions where he would be there. I mean, eventually the kid turned out fine.
mm-hmm.
He kind of went through his stuff. I mean, it's not like it happens and kids don't say those things, right?
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, where at what point do you intervene and react and be like, okay, there could be a fucking serious issue here? Like, who
I would say
six-year-old?
twice. I would say twice though. Like, if your kid is like doing this shit, I mean, obviously the parents are involved. I mean, the poor bastards are going to school every day with the kid.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man. So you're assuming he's going for like a half day, right? So he's 6, so he's probably in kindergarten.
Yeah, it'd be kindergarten or grade 1, right? So
yeah, so it's like, holy crap, man, it's fucking every goddamn day. Now you got to think, okay, what medicine was this kid on? What was that? Because now even they're talking about like all the, psychotropic medicines that we're using. Like even when they talk about what the fuck it was, shit, the chemical that they thought caused depression. One of the leading depression medications doesn't work.
wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So, God, I should. Christ, what was? I don't. Anyway, I'm talking about my ass, but I know that one of the leading, causes of depression that you always see on the, on TV, that that chemical, serotonin. Thank you. That low serotonin levels cause depression, and now they're like, yeah, no, it's not true. We say might cause. They use this fucking language, and then that medication's fucking you up. I mean, there's a lot of shit that. Look, yeah, some people are wired fucked up. That's a fact. Mental illness is goddamn real. Right?
Yes.
So, but I think, there's a tendency now. We went from trying to cure people with medicine to trying to just manage them and treat them with medicine. So it's like, dude, okay, you're taking this pill for the rest of your life. Oh, right. I'm not working on trying to get better. It's like, no, you're taking Lipitor. That's it. You're taking this for the rest of your life. You're taking this for the rest of your life, because they want, subscriptions.
Yeah.
Recurring.
Big business.
Right. I mean, we're the United States most medicated country in the fucking planet. When I'm 54, when I go to the doctor, they're like, what do you want? I'm like, vitamin D. It's like I work out an hour and a half a day.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, dude, I do that. So I don't have to do the other shit, so I can minimize, my exposure to having to, do that shit. I watch my diet most times, not, having my celebratory Popeye's chicken sandwich last night. That didn't help.
Holy shit.
Fucking, I don't know what they're putting in that thing, heroin, but it's fucking awesome.
Shout out to Popeyes.
Yeah, peace. So yeah, dude, well, yeah. So anyway, I just, I don't, there's something going on in this country with mental health, and medication. And now the problem is once, you've opened the door for kids to, for people to just strike, like shooting and killing more than a few people is an option now.
Yeah.
Again, I still don't understand how a 6-year-old comes to that conclusion, gets access to a weapon. Parents should be held accountable. This is anyone who owns a weapon that's involved in an active shooting, or the commission of it. I mean, it's one thing if it's stolen from your home, but it's one thing if a family member has access to it and gets it, then that's a goddamn problem.
Yes.
So,
yes.
These people haven't been held accountable in the past. And, if you really want, those are the people who should be held accountable.
And speaking about being held accountable, I was just reading the other day about Alec Baldwin. I guess now they're bringing charges against him for that fucking shooting that had happened.
Yeah. Look, my feeling on it, it's make no mistake. It's like whatever. Like politically, obviously, we're probably, Alec and I are not exactly on the same spectrum, but really can't expect him to inspect a weapon.
Yeah,
sorry, you can't. It's the armorer's job. Shouldn't have live rounds on set. Should have doubled and triple checked that. Should have checked it right before you handed it to him.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the difference between a live round and a dummy round, well, shame on you.
Yeah.
And if you're using rounds that look like a real round, you cannot have any fucking real round on set.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's who should be going to jail. Yeah, man. So this whole thing, again, I think it's some bullshit, to kind of, I don't know. I don't know why he would be targeted or brought up on, the fact that he's the producer on the set, of the film. He has some responsibility for, maintaining a safe environment. I would imagine there's some exposure there, but it's not criminal. It's like his production company who hired this person and paid this person, should probably have, have some,
some skin in the game, so to speak.
But him, no. People, again, a lot of like guys who like people who've never been on a set, people who've never been, people talk a lot of shit.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you should always, check the weapon and stuff like that. I'm like, I have somebody who's supposed to do their job.
Yeah.
So, I don't think he should. Yeah. I don't think.
Apparently, now we just have to assume everybody's incompetent and can't do their fucking jobs. So.
Right. Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
What else is new?
Yeah.
Right. Shit. I don't know. So what do you got going on this week?
Oh, fuck all. Like, I think we're getting another storm blowing in. Something from fucking Texas or something is coming up this way. So from Texas. It said something from Texas is blowing up. I thought, interesting.
Wow, that never really happens.
Yeah, I think
we're supposed to get weather tomorrow.
Yeah, we're seeing it, I think, Thursday up here.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, man, we're like in the middle of basketball season right now.
Yeah, I see you posting more shit about your kids' basketball, so that looks like they've been doing all right.
Yeah, I said like I said before, they have like, it's a weird fucking sport. Look, their coach isn't the greatest. We tried to like do something, but now we're kind of stuck with them, so they got to fucking make the best out of it. And mainly between strategy and play calling, the one thing that he isn't really good at is substituting guys. He like platoons them in. And what happens when one line doesn't do well, he replaces the entire line. When in reality, he should be filtering those guys from the second line in.
Okay, yeah.
So at least you can give the guys on your starting line, a break. And one of the advantages of basketball is like if you have a good bench, and we do, you can tire a team out because they have to keep their starters out longer, right?
Yeah.
So kind of, our guys like, they started off strong. They lost 1, 2, 3 to 4 games it probably shouldn't have lost. So like 8 and 7 now. They should probably be at 11 and 4.
And like 3. Yeah.
Right. But either way, it's like they're still in a position to kind of salvage what they have in the season. So there's a big tournament in Bergen County called the Bergen County Jamboree, and it's got like one of the teams is local team Don Bosco. They're like ranked 13th in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another teams. We got like some of the top 4. Well, they're in the top 10 teams in the state. 4 of them are in this contest. We got our first invite there in years. I can't remember the last time we were invited to the tournament. So we got our first invite in years. We play Thursday night at home against a team we should beat, but then we play the top seed that's ranked 13th in the country with the second top recruited kid in the nation on that team.
Oh, fantastic.
But you know what? It's like, it's no big deal because it's like you get to play with them. You know what I mean? And you get to like, hey, dude, I got a fucking, I got a title shot, right? I have an opportunity to play some of the best kids in the country. I got nothing to lose.
And you never know when there's going to be a fucking upset, man. You never know.
Right. I mean, look, smart money, but, I said, like, my kid's like, hey, man, there's going to be people there. He goes, it's going to be packed. It's at our own. So we got 2 games. So we got 2 games. It's we're hosting that game. So they're playing in it. Hey, whatever, man. So let's, we got Thursday first, again at home. And then after that, we finish out the rest of the season in February, and then we start the States. So, then, everything will be done first week of March.
Nice.
And then that's it, man. We're still trying to figure out college, trying to get him, he's gotten into a bunch of schools academically, trying to see, he's got a couple looks from places that wanted him to play, but he doesn't want to go there. So he's trying to find a place where he can go, that he wants to go, that he can play. But if he can't, maybe he just plays club someplace and just goes to school, and that's that. So anyway, it's been.
And then you hear from him in 2 or 3 years, and he's fucking on the power slap circuit.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Hopefully, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So it's like, really just kind of, getting the most out of, what he's got left. I mean, I was glad he was in a slump for like 3 or 4 games more, where he just shot wasn't there, concentrated on defense. But then like 3 games ago, he started getting his groove back. And then like last night, the other leading scorer on the team, one of them got a shot back. It's just weird. All of a sudden shit started dropping. Right.
Yeah.
And then, now like stuff's opening up. Like they beat a team last night. They lost to, they beat them by like, it said 9, but it really was like, they were up by 18 when they took the starters out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really, they had lost to that team before and they had started awful. And then we wound up losing by 2 points. So to come back and like dominate them, just kind of reset. We've got one of the teams that's like top 6 in the state is in our league. So we play them again. And then we get to play another team we lost to again. Then another team we lost to by 1 point. That, fuck. Dude, there was I don't want to get into it, but there was a call at the end of that game, which just lost the game for them and they got really screwed. So they play them again, pick up another couple games, and then they start the state tournament. And it's like, which is tough. Everybody's tough. So yeah, man, and that's it. And we're fucking done.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's weird though, because we've had sports every, since he was in, I mean, with between my daughter and him, since they were in, for shit, 20 years,
Mhm.
going to some type of sport, not 20, sorry, 15. 15 years going to some type of sport in season, doing something, whether he's playing all season, whether it's weird. And then it's going to be done. Done. Now I got to wait till some of these fuckers pump out some grandkids. But yeah.
You fucking retired on some fucking beach somewhere.
Right. Yes.
All the royalties you make off your fucking dummy book.
Yes.
so everybody buy his fucking book.
Right. Right. Buy a book, buy a backpack, sign up.
That's right.
Jesus Christ. All right, man. On that note, all right, good shit, brother.
All right.
And,
We'll talk
have
to
a
you
good
soon.
weekend. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
All right.
Let me just hold on. I got to end the fucking recording. And